Oh, the tea.
Oh, yes, please.
We've been, well, yeah.
We've got masses up there. Hello, Marlene.
Oh, yeah, all right.
Come on in and have a look. We've been gardening here since May 2011 when we started a station partnership with Southern, and in June we were here and we had the gate open like that, and people tend to come in and chat. And somebody who came in to chat was someone called Joanna Harper, who works for Action in Rural Sussex. Out of that chance meeting, two things happened. One, she was trying to get campaigners to help with the digital switchover information. Madeline, one of our volunteers, then took over with that. But she also told us about the campaign that Action in Rural Sussex were doing with Brighton Permaculture Trust about promoting local varieties of fruit. And it was as a result of that that we then called on Bryn over here from Brighton Permaculture, and he came over and said, yeah. And I think now it's over to Bryn to just tell us what he's going to do.
Yeah, well, we're delighted to be able to support the group here growing their own fruit. Our contribution to that is help people to grow fruit trees, which these fruit trees could bear fruit for 50 years after some TLC putting them in. The trees we're planting today are a plum, 4 apples and a pear. The apples are rare Sussex apple varieties, and some of them were virtually extinct before we started propagating them, just existed in 2 collections. And we're planting the apples and pears here as cordons on the south-facing wall. The advantage of cordons is you can fit a lot of trees into a small space.
Made a compote of dried fruit, mainly cranberries and Braeburn apples, which I've cooked with port. I've added cinnamon, a little bit of water, and reduced it right down. Then I added a good glug of port again.
They've got together and say, look, you know, we've got a sort of package that we'll offer where they plant the trees, and Robin comes along and produces apple-based food to show people that you can actually use these apples, and he's actually using Sussex varieties in his cooking. And I tell you, I've had what he's cooking. It's fantastic.
Our mains, we've got apple and pumpkin soup, and it's slightly spiced with Indian spices. I'm going to serve that with fresh flatbreads, which I'm about to start making, and the flatbread's going to be wrapped up with seasonal things. So I've got some beetroot, which I've roasted, some Savoy cabbage, which I've stir-fried, and over here I've got a relish, or a ratatouille, whatever you prefer to call it, which is apple, pepper, tomato and smoked paprika.
We do have another shovel, I think.
We can dig together.
Caroline, here we are. Let's give you another.
Here we go.
There we go. Oh, wonderful.
I'll let you up that one. Come on, there you go. Well, just say a couple of words. I mean, as a ward councillor, it's just been absolutely fantastic, this project. This is an example of one of now many number of different community activities around growing that are happening around the city that are really encouraging and are bringing people together, and it will be fantastic that there will be food grown here. But the most important aspect of it, I think, is the social opportunity to bring communities together, and where that takes you beyond that.
You know, on a personal level, how much I just enjoy this space when I come down to the station just about every day. And it just makes you feel proud about your community, and I think it's about that kind of glue that sticks communities together. It makes you feel that you've got a common project, and it's about making a bit of land that was waste and not very beautiful into something beautiful. And the more we can make places of beauty in our city, even if they're little pockets like this, I just think it increases people's quality of life immensely.
Yeah. The lady who started the whole thing, who's our contact with Southern, has just arrived. Sam Bryant, thank you very much for coming. Sam is the community officer for the Sussex Community Rail Partnership.
I'll go and get the tree. it's a good idea to soak trees for a couple of hours before planting them to make sure the roots are properly wet. That's great. Yeah. Sussex apples.
Nice big smile again.
The next stage is to add some friendly mycorrhizal fungi. Basically, it's fungi which grows in association with the roots and helps them to take up water and minerals. So, there it is done.
So, Brenda, we got Sussex varieties.
4 apples, Sussex varieties. These ones. Some people are very much into pruning quite heavily a young tree to establish it, but I would be more keen, if everything's well placed, just to leave it well alone and then minimally prune. But at the time of planting, it's always a good idea to prune. Now, a downward facing bud will give you an outward facing shoot. An upward facing bud is likely to grow straight upwards, and that's not what we want. That will go alongside the main stem of the tree. We want it to grow outwards from there. Outward growth is less vigorous and more fruitful.
We were waiting to see you do a bit of digging and get your exercise.
Exercise me, look. I've maintained this body weight for a reason. No exercise. Alcohol only. When you produce cider, I'll drink it.
How's the soup?
The soup's gorgeous.
Really gorgeous.
So here we have our dessert, just getting it ready. As I said earlier, this is a mixture between summer pudding and a trifle. It's apple and cranberry compote with port and chantilly cream on the top. Could I give you one, because you've been working hard all day on your tan?
Being a station supermarket.
Thank you. It's absolutely yummy with apple. This is fantastic.
It's such wonderful food, and I trust that in future we will be coming back and it'll be food from the orchard.
Pauline, are you going to try some of this? It's kind of like...
Did you get one?
You've got the number of the house,
You're caught each other.
Where are you going to be?
Well, hey, I think that's really creative.